Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
Oh, yeah.
It's time for Wolo and Friends on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Presented by Homer Skelton Hyundai. Here is your host, the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin.
Good Monday morning. If you're a Grizzlies fan, you should be smiling broadly. Not because the weather's so gorgeous right now. No, because Zach Kleiman and John Morant said exactly what you would want to hear if you are a fan. At their exit interviews, they said the magic words. Zach Kleiman, the man in total charge, other than Robert Pera, said, we're not going to have any issue paying anyone that we want to pay. There's never going to be an issue with retention here. Not worried about small market notions as we continue to prioritize continuity. So the biggest thing for continuity would be keeping your superstar. Right? You're the one that can offer him the max. That max, by the way, is anywhere from $181 million to $217 million. It depends on the all-star team that he gets chosen to. I got a feeling he's going to be there for the $217 million max. I hope he is, for his sake. That's incredible. Of course, I'm pretty sure you could live okay on $181 million, but $217 seems to be in line with a guy who is becoming one of the faces of the NBA without question.
You can live on 118 until you live on 200 something, and then it becomes a lot harder to live on 118.
It's 181.
181.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. Yeah. He's only going to be. He's not even 23 yet, right? He's not 23 till August. You realize Jaren Jackson Jr. is actually younger than he is. Jaren Jackson Jr. will be 23 in September. It's crazy.
That really is. I wouldn't have thought that.
But when he was asked about, free agency and his love for Memphis, he said, if your question is, do I want to be in Memphis? And he paused for a second. That's called a dramatic pause, ladies and gentlemen. And then he said, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Not just yeah, hell yeah. So that would tell you Ja's going to stick around. For whether it's 181 or 217, whatever the league dictates the Supermax will be for John Morant, he will get. And when Zach Kleiman says we're not going to have any issue paying anyone we want to pay, that would tell you that he'll go after free agents, that he'll spend money on the core here, because he also said continuity was a priority. So he may very well go into the tax. And that was a Brian Windhurst ESPN story about a month ago, right? Maybe a little longer, where he's talking about how Pera had become the third wealthiest owner in the NBA, estimated total net worth of $15 bill. And therefore, if he wanted to keep people, he could afford to do it. And that appears from the Kleiman comments during these exit interviews that money's not going to be the issue, that they can keep this core together if they choose. They can go after anybody they want to, small market or not. They're willing to do what it takes to win a championship. That is what I got from Kleiman. He's echoing the words of what Robert Pera has already said to him. It will start with Ja. Now, here's the decisions that you've got to make. Anderson and Jones are both free agents, so you got to make a decision on them right now. Jones probably can be a starting point guard on several teams. He would be an unbelievable keeper as a backup with a lot of playing time if he stays here. But you're going to have to match some teams that would be willing to pay him starting point guard money. So we'll get a little sense right there, I think, with Tyus Jones. As Anderson goes, and I love him, I really do, he's a pretty expendable guy, I think. I think he's got a role. I think he's a great teammate. Everybody seems to like him. Defensively, he's been good. He's not been as consistent offensively as you would like. I'm not sure what they'll do with that particular decision they have to make.
I love Kyle Anderson. And I know you just said you did too. I don't find him nearly. He is getting. I mean, I think getting older. He's about to turn 29. Not really getting older. He's still younger than 30.
Hey, do you realize, since you bring up that number, that there was not 1 point scored by the Grizzlies this year by anybody over 30? There's nobody over 30.
There you go.
It's incredible.
Which is incredible, even more incredible that Steven Adams isn't 30 years old if you just look at what he looks like as a human. No, but I love Kyle Anderson, though. I just don't think I would like to see him go. I think he helps you in matchups. He helped them a lot in a lot of ways in the matchup with the Warriors, both defensively and offensively, just giving you different matchup sizes he can play that for. As good as Tyus has been, I'm just afraid that someone's going to want to pay him way more money than the Grizzlies need to pay him. As good as he is, best assist to turnover ratio 2 years in a row now?
Yeah.
3 years in a row now, something like that.
I mean, let's face it. I think about this part. Is there a better backup point guard in the league? I'd say the answer is no. I'd say he's better than probably the bottom third starting point guards.
Maybe so on a bad team. That's bottom
well, certainly
third.
His ratio is good, and on a bad team, he would get more shots.
He would get more shots. He might turn the ball over a bit more, too, because he is a little bit smaller. But I do agree he would get more shots, and he would certainly score more points, too. You know, he might be actually better than bottom third in terms of if you gave him a starting point guard position. And teams might be willing to pay him a lot of money to do that, too.
And here's my point, though. How many times did we hear during the grit and grind era, if only the Grizzlies had a backup point guard from Mike Conley, they might have advanced further, maybe gotten to the title series, but they never had the backup point guard. Here, you've got one. You had him at a cheap price for a while. He's earned whatever he's going to make. Are you willing to go there? Because that backup point guard position is pretty important. And the other nice thing is the chemistry between he and Ja is good, where he can come in and actually let Ja be the off guard for rest, for periods of keeping him on the floor as a shooter, as an offensive guy, and not putting that much of a load on him. I think if we look at those two guys, Anderson and Jones's position is more important.
Yeah, certainly. Now, you mentioned backup point guard. That's absolutely true. There's been a lot of times, and especially with the way Ja got hurt this year, what if he gets hurt in the future? Tyus just got you through the season, basically. We say 20, how much was it at this point? 21-6, 22-6, something like that. But they won 20 games without Ja Morant in the lineup, and Tyus Jones is no small part of that. I don't think the fact, though, that you want to sign Tyus makes Kyle more expendable, though. I really think his value to this team is very underrated by people because of his lack of offensive production.
If we're going into the tax, you can do both.
That's right.
If you think that is important. All right, so those are the two guys that are free agents that you have to make moves on right now. The other is the extensions. Are you going to extend Ja? Yes, you are. You're giving him a supermax. We know that. That's a fact. That is going to happen. The next one is Brandon Clark. What do you do with BC? Now, BC wants to stay. He's said that. His agent, who happens to be Andy Schiffman, has said that on these airwaves. We'll talk with him again on Friday. I don't know how much money they'll have to shell out. How important is Brandon Clark? I thought at the end of the year he was incredibly important. He was outstanding in the Minnesota series. I don't know what happened to him in this series with Golden State, because there's nobody inside that I thought could really stop him, and yet his offensive efficiency went down the tubes. He missed so many shots, and that's what happened in Game 7. In my estimation, two things occurred that cost not Game 7, Game 6, that cost the Grizzlies the series in that game. Yeah, they could have won that game. It's another one of the games they could have won. But two things occurred. They missed how many points within 10 feet of the bucket or less?
Oh, a ton.
They must have missed literally, and I'm not making this up, 10 shots.
They gave back all of Golden State's turnovers.
10 shots, I would say, within 10 feet or less of the bucket that appeared to be easy 2 points that they missed. And then 25 offensive rebounds. You're not going to win a game when you give up 25 offensive rebounds. That's the reason they lost the series right there in Game 6. But
22 total ones to Looney, by the way.
Yeah. Looney was, that's the game of his career.
No kidding.
So the one knock I would say on Brandon Clark would be consistency. Great in the Minnesota series, disappeared in the Golden State series. Great during some moments of the regular season, and not so great. Inconsistency and injury have plagued Brandon Clark a little bit. I'd love to see him stay because I do think he has the potential to really be a great contributor off the bench. He's a rotation guy. He's not a starter. He's a rotation guy. The question will be, how much is a rotation guy going to cost you in this day and age?
Probably a lot more. Well, assuming the league is caught on now, because really for a while here, they really haven't. But I think center, because of the way people are playing it now, is the second most important position in the NBA behind point guard. Because a lot of teams either have a guy like DeAndre Ayton that's 7 foot, God knows what, and giant, or they're playing guys like Dwight Powell for the Mavs or Brandon Clark size at center. So you really need that to have both guys like a Steven Adams and a Brandon Clark, because it makes you can match up with all these different teams. And that's the only position that fluctuates to that degree of how you need to guard it. So I think Brandon Clark's value, like you said, even as a rotation bench player, is very high, his value for the Grizzlies team in re-signing purposes.
So there's three guys. We know they're not going to re-sign everybody. There's going to be some moves that are made. But so far we've touched on now on Anderson, Jones, Ja, and Brandon Clark. Now, here is expiring contracts that you could move with draft picks. You've got two, 22nd pick first round, 29th pick first round. Do you shop them with guys on expiring contracts to move up? What do Zach Kleiman and the Brain Trust, Taylor Jenkins and company, what do they do here? The guys that are on expiring contracts, which are the most attractive to other teams. You get them for a year, and then you can move them. Or they go. They would be Dylan Brooks, DeAnthony Melton, Steven Adams. Of those three, which one is the most valuable to trade? I would have to think it's Dylan Brooks.
Unfortunately, I believe you're correct. And that's very unfortunate because of how down on him everybody is right now after his playoff performance against the Warriors. But unfortunately, you're right. He is the most valuable piece, and a piece that this is not to diminish his value in the NBA, because he is valuable because of how much other teams would want somebody of his skill set on their team. Now, it probably wouldn't be in a starting role. It'd probably be coming off the bench. But his value is apparent that you could get something for him and move up. No. And maybe if you don't want to re-sign Tyus, or you can't re-sign Tyus, you can move up and get a point guard in that regard.
That's true. Every one of these guys, I think, I don't know about Adams, but I'm suspecting he'd like to stay. But Brooks has said, I don't want to go. He wants to stay.
Did you hear the reports of what he was saying to Steph Curry during the series? Saying like they came off saying he was a dynasty. I think he was saying the Grizzlies are already a dynasty or whatever. And Steph looked at him like he was out of his mind. You can't say that kind of thing to Steph Curry when he plays on the Warriors that have won 3 championships.
Well, in defense of Dylan Brooks, he's never been shy about confidence. That's why he keeps shooting when he's missing, and that's not knowing some of your limitation, I think, can be a detriment. He's clearly a premier perimeter defender. He can rebound. He gets streaky and he shoots. He was the best shooter in Game 6 for the Grizzlies. There's no question about that. I think it's too much volume shooting. I would try to temper that if I were a coach somehow, some way. But you don't want to take away confidence from your guy who does feel like he can get it done. He did struggle with defending Steph, but everybody does. Let's face it. The guy is the greatest shooter in the history of the NBA, and the facts say that. That's not an opinion. That is backed up by fact. So I don't know. Again, You're not keeping every one of these guys. There's going to be some moves made, and that's why Zach Kleiman makes the money, and that's why he's the executive of the year. He'll make some decisions that will be tough. I'll be curious to see what he does with 22 and 29. If you do move up, maybe there's a really good point guard in there. We'll be doing more as we go on the NBA draft. The lottery is tomorrow, correct?
I did not know. I'll look it up.
I think it is. I think it is tomorrow. In the meantime, those games were stinkers yesterday. I already have enough rust, so I'm not going to put them in my rust because we're about to do metals. But I'll be honest with you. I thought those playoff games yesterday this is why you love the NHL. We'll get to that in a second, too. But those two games, Game 7s, were awful. They were not competitive. How can that be? How could you get to Game 7 in these series, and the Mavs are on the road, and they were up by 46? How do you figure that?
I have no idea. By the way, the lottery is tomorrow. Yeah. Tomorrow night.
So I guess there's still like an astronomical chance that the Grizzlies could get the Lakers pick.
How so?
I think if the ping pong balls 1-4, LA keeps it. 4-8, it goes to New Orleans, right? But if it's 9 or whatever, now the odds are because of the ping pong balls that they will lose that pick. But there is still, I think, a chance that if it goes to 9, they would get the pick still.
That might be right. Let me look here.
I think that's right. Text us on the AutoZone text line at 901-360-8255. I'm pretty sure I'm right.
New Orleans will get the pick if it falls between 1 and 10. If it lands between 11 and 30, Memphis will receive it. Okay. So maybe that's if it gets outside 11.
They don't get it 1 to 10. They get it 5 to 10 then.
Oh, 5 to 10.
Because LA gets it 1-4. I mean, they keep it if it's 1-4. I'm almost certain of that. That's protected 1-4. Then the Pelicans get it to 10. And then the Grizzlies would get it after that. So there is a chance if the ping pong balls fall the right way tomorrow. In the meantime, we've got medals coming your way. I'll let you know we're sitting in the Family Leisure Studios, where the Vacation at Home sale continues, and it will go through this month. And then, they will concoct something else that is outstanding. Play gyms and trampolines, $500 off. Hot tubs in stock, ready to go. There's $1,000 off if you pick them up. And if you're really a do-it-yourselfer, and you are pretty handy with installation, you can get your own swimming pool up to $1,500 off if you pick it up and then install the above-ground pool yourself. $1,500 in savings. All you got to do is get to I-40 and Wooden Road. And our title sponsor for this hour of the program, and they've been with us for so long, is Homer Skelton Hyundai in Olive Branch. I passed by their beautiful parking lot and showroom yesterday, and I saw a bunch of cars. They're getting more new cars in every day. And Chris True and his gang pledged this to you. You will never pay more than sticker price at Homer Skelton Hyundai. Right there at the corner of Craft Road and Highway 78. You'll never pay more than sticker price. Other dealerships are taking advantage of the laws of supply and demand. That never happens at Homer Skelton Hyundai. It's time for Precious Metals, and I got a bunch, my friend. I'm going to give a bronze medal to Albert Pujols. For the first time in Albert Pujols' career, he was asked to pitch. He came in and pitched in the 9th inning to close out what was a 15-2 game when he came in. And he gets one out. And then there's a double play ball. Uh-oh. They don't get the back end. 2 outs. Runners on the corners. Here's the pitch. Goodbye. Home run left field. Now it's 15-5. Next guy up. And you got to understand, he's just throwing the ball, trying to get it to move a little bit. He's probably going 65, 70 miles an hour. Not much to it. Next guy up. Takes him deep right field. Now it's 15-6. Next guy up. Ground ball to shortstop. He starts pumping his hands as soon as the shortstop grabs the ball, throw to first. And Albert Pujols closes out a 15-6 win. I got to give the National Hockey League a silver. I could probably have given them a gold. I mean, first round of the playoffs. J-Mo, 5 of the 8 series went to 7 games. And most of those 7 games were decided by 1 goal. 1 goal. Several, 2 or 3 of them in overtime. That's how close these Stanley Cup playoffs are. 5 7 games, 2 6 games. Only 1 game was a sweep. Only 1 series a sweep. That is called parity. That is called excitement. The NHL has all of that. And in a little side note here, Stats and Gabe, they wanted me to participate because they thought they were going to make fun of me. Because I played hockey as a kid. And I tell them, it's that experience that enables you to understand the game to make your picks.
Slapping the biscuit around.
Yeah. And so I got an invite. Would you participate? We weren't doing hockey picks. I said, sure. 8 series, J-Mo. 8 series, first round. And you got to project all the way out. 8 series. 8-0. Not a miss. And what are the odds on that?
Perfect.
If FanDuel was doing that, the over-under on me getting 8-0 would have been $1 million to 1.
You should have done it. Who's your cup? Who's in the cup for you?
My cup.
The Panthers and somebody.
It's Colorado and Florida, with Colorado winning the cup.
I like the Panthers. They're my favorite. Well, second favorite team. I like the Rangers too.
I don't think the Panthers had won a series until
they had
this past one.
And you know who knocked them out last year? Tampa Bay Lightning. Last 2 years, I believe.
Which knocked out Brett Norsworthy's, as he was calling him, the Leaves. Not the Leafs, the Leaves. That's what he knows.
Disrespectful to the Leaves.
This is why I couldn't wait to join their thing. Gabe grew up with hockey too. 3 and 5, Gabe. Oh, my goodness. So I get a silver too. And then my gold medal has to go to Boston and Dallas. They win their game 7. And what I loved about that is that they got help from their bench. Who would have seen Grant Williams from Boston? What do you make, 6 or 7 threes? He had 27 points.
He had 7 threes.
7 threes, 27 points. I loved him as a Tennessee Volunteer. Undersized big guy.
He's posting him. He's the biggest guy on the floor for him.
He was phenomenal. They win that game. It was a stinker game. They probably would have won it without him anyway, but he really makes the difference. And then I have no idea what happened with Phoenix. At home, to be down by 46, to be down by 30 at the half, to be never in the game, to allow Spencer Dinwiddie to score 30 points. Another bench player. So the pressure was off Luka with 35 points. Luka had, I think it was 12 points and 8 rebounds and 4 assists in the first quarter. I mean, crazy stuff. So Boston and Dallas get my gold medal. Your medals?
My medals, my first one goes to great minds think alike here. Grant Williams, who had 27 points yesterday. Dave, the game before it, he only had 2 points. The game before that, he had 0 points. He's been on the floor only to defend, and in the game to close it out, he had 27, backed by 7 of 18 from 3. 18's a lot of threes, but 7 3 makes is unbelievable, so he gets bronze medal for me. My silver medal goes to the Mavs, like you said. Spencer Dinwiddie had 30. A lot of people said when they went to go trade for Spencer Dinwiddie, when they gave up Porzingis, what are the Mavs doing? They have to have Porzingis to win. Who is this Dinwiddie guy? He can't help them win. Well, he did help them win to win by 40 and had 30 points. And like you said, Luka had as many points as the Suns did in the first half.
He did.
It's an unbelievable game by the Mavs. More on that later in the rest. My gold medal goes to you mentioned the Stanley Cup playoffs. The New York Rangers were down 3-1 in a series to rival the Pittsburgh Penguins. You, by the way, can't have Kid in your nickname. If Kid is in your nickname, Father Time is undefeated, Dave. You can't have Kid in your nickname, by the way. 3-1 series, down 3-0 in Game 5 in a 3-1 series. They came back and won 4-3. Came back down 2-0 in Pittsburgh in Game 6 to win that game and tie it up. And then won in overtime last night in Game 7 in the Madison Square Garden. Unbelievable series by the Rangers. They're my pick to win the Cup. I got a little bet on them to win the Cup. So
wait. As you say this, and if people are looking on Facebook or Twitter Is that not a Pittsburgh Penguin hat you're wearing?
Well, you got to pay respect to the dead, Dave. And, they knocked him out, so I got to wear it today to pay respects.
All right. I got a couple of rusts. I got to give a rust to the Cincinnati Reds. Oh, the Reds are having a terrible year. They matched the second worst start in baseball history. What were they, 3-19 or something like that?
That's right.
Yeah. Yesterday, rookie Hunter Green was really a good pitcher, and a reliever, Art Warren, they threw a no-hitter. A run was scored in the bottom of the eighth by the Pittsburgh Pirates on 3 walks and a ground out. 3 walks and a ground out. That produced the only run in the game. They lose 1-0. Can you believe that?
It's
they throw a no-hitter, but it's not the first time it's happened.
Really?
It's the 6th time since 1901 somebody threw a no-hitter and lost a game.
It's the wildest box score I've ever seen on a baseball game.
What a tough year for Cincinnati.
Oh, yeah.
Throw a no-hitter and lose. And then my final rust to Chris Paul. He's the first player ever to blow 5 series up to nothing. Up to zip. And this one's at home. Oh, baby. He goes down in history as the biggest non-closer ever.
It's such a shame, too. I think he's the best point guard I've ever seen.
Well, he's 37 now. You got to wonder, can he come back and really be effective? You know what? The funny thing, it was pointed out yesterday on the broadcast, when he turned 37 was when he stopped being efficient in the series. It's like you said earlier, Father Time is undefeated. It's like, I don't know. God realized, wait a second, take away his legs, he's 37. Hey, he was not the same guy.
People ask you on your birthday if you feel older. Maybe that exact day, he felt older.
It's crazy.
You see Patrick Beverley this morning was on ESPN taking a victory lap around Chris Paul as well because, they're big rivals. Anyway.
Beverley makes me sick.
My rust also goes to the Suns. It goes to Monty Williams. I think he should have to give the Coach of the Year award back and give it to Taylor Jenkins. You lose by 40. I would let him keep it if they lost by 20, but you lose by 40, you have to give it back.
I don't know. They both went out in the same round.
Yeah, but they didn't lose by 40, though. That's the difference.
Yeah, that's true. They did not lose.
At home.
By 40. And those are our medals. We'll go to Tampa in just a second. TJ Reeves is standing by. I'll let you know this portion of the show. It's brought to you by the good folks at Grind City Brewing and Poppy's Pills. That's that great Pilsner. I've been talking about. I love all the Grind City stuff. Locally made, easy to get. You can get Poppy's Pills in 6-packs or 15-packs. Ask your favorite retailer about it. They've all got it. It's best enjoyed ice cold. It's a Pilsner. I love the Tiger Tail, too. But, man, people are going crazy for this light, crisp, and refreshing Pilsner. It's ultra-crushable, they say. And, again, you're supporting the local economy. Grind City Brewing and Poppy's Pills. Poppy's Pilsner. That is exactly what the doctor ordered. To Tampa we go in a minute. This is Wolo and Friends.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
If there's one message the fine people at Sunrise on Jefferson want to send, it's this: don't settle. You could go to a fast food place for breakfast or lunch. You could even, God forbid, go through a drive-thru and eat in your car. But you're better than that. You deserve better than that. You deserve a great breakfast or lunch cooked fast and fresh just for you. You deserve Sunrise. It's not a matter of treating yourself. It's a matter of treating yourself right. And coming soon, Sunrise East on Poplar, because you deserve that too.
Did you know your butt has a favorite app? That's right, SeatGeek. When I played college football for the University of Memphis, I had the best views of the game. Now I can still find some of the best views of the games, concerts, festivals, live events, or anything else that I want to go to with the SeatGeek app. SeatGeek puts tickets from all over the web in one place to make buying simple. Just download the app, choose the event, and SeatGeek will show you what tickets are available. SeatGeek rates every ticket from 0 to 10 to make sure you're getting a good deal. Green means good, red means bad. Simple enough. You can see wherever your seat is located. Download the SeatGeek app today. You can get $20 off your first purchase with promo code GABE56 at SeatGeek.com or on the SeatGeek app. That's promo code GABE56 for $20 off your first SeatGeek order. SeatGeek, get your seat in a seat. Download the app today.
Hey everybody, our friends at All Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch just announced they have openings for experienced professional sales consultants to come aboard and join the All Star team. You may have heard how great it is to be a part of the All Star Chevrolet sales team in Olive Branch. And you know why? Because All Star Chevrolet is family owned and has been for over 31 years. Sales consultants have the opportunity to earn up to 40% commission selling new and used vehicles and so many other benefits like paid vacations, 401k, health, dental, and vision insurance, and have every Sunday off. Apply in person or send your resume to All-Star Chevrolet at 7240 Kraft Goodman Road in Olive Branch, Mississippi. Remember, it's not the Pike, not Southaven, not Mount Moriah, Bartlett, or Collierville. Find new roads to All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch. And send your resume to All-Star Chevrolet at 7240 Kraft Goodman Road, Olive Branch, Mississippi. Call ahead for an appointment with Kevin Smith if that works for you. 662-895-5536. Or go to allstarautogroup.com.
Now back to Wolo and Friends on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Presented by Homer Skelton Hyundai. Here once again is the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin.
To Tampa we go to second. Our friend TJ Reeves standing by. It's brought to you by Conway Services, heating, cooling, plumbing, electric. You know, the home of the tune-up. And as we get into the hotter months, as we are approaching June, you know it's going to be boiling out there. Hope your house is cool. How do you get there efficiently? You call Conway. 384-3511. They do that super tune-up. They check your Freon levels. They do all 16 points in your house, and they go outside and clean up like you wouldn't believe all of the outside dirt and grime and leaves. It's like taking your system to the car wash. Now everything runs efficiently. Your MLGW bill goes down, and your system lasts longer. All you got to do is make that call, 384-3511, Conway Services to Tampa. We go, and TJ Reeves joins us now, who, by the way, people should note, TJ's an amazing guy. You know, he's the sideline guy for the Bucks, does a lot of PGA Tour stuff, but I think he's the guy that brokered the deal between Brady and Fox. $375 million.
Wow.
That's uncanny. How did you do that?
As many have been asking me, first of all, good to be with you, many fronts to cover. As many have been asking me, well, was he not going to end up doing the radio at some point with you? And I said, well, in that case, it would be a $375,535 deal for the two of us to come together, if that was the case. I don't know how believable that number is. Agents love to exaggerate, if not lie, on what that price is. And some have even said to me that is a broader price because he's going to do other things for Fox Sports as an ambassador and be part of other events. But still, it's ridiculous, the money that's being thrown around for announcers. As I've said for years, and you join me in this, television rules the world in the sports industry, babe, and that's why we're in radio. And there we go on that.
The bottom line is it goes back to Tony Romo. Tony Romo upped the price for everybody when he got $20 million a year. And, he proved
and once the agents began to find out that price, they seized on it. Well, to your point, once there was not privacy, non-disclosure on you're not going to tell anybody what you're getting, then the agent seized on that. So you're exactly right.
Well,
he set the bar.
And Romo, he had done a couple of practice games. Nobody realized how good he was going to be.
Correct.
And I guess we could say the same thing for Brady. I have no idea how good Tom Brady is going to be as an analyst, and yet that figure, that's just crazy.
It is.
Do you think he'll be good?
And then we'll just go in the chronology real quick because I know you want to move along. Then the schedule gets released, and we find out Buccaneers opening Sunday Night Football in Dallas with the Cowboys. Second year in a row, the opening game for the Bucs and the Cowboys is each other. Then we have several other primetime games with Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs on week 4. And then eventually we get to Christmas in Arizona, which I have to say, on Wolo and Friends, did not go over real well in the Reeves household. You're not playing a home game on Christmas. You've got to leave and go be in Arizona for Christmas.
Yeah.
So we'll see what we can work out on that one. But
how about the NFL? Actually, it's just the way it worked. But they're taking the thunder from the NBA. What did you think about that?
Oh, absolutely, flexing their muscle again.
Yeah.
We'll just play a triple header because it's an NFL Sunday, and then a week later they take New Year's Day away from college football the same way, where all the New Year's Day games, the traditional New Year's Day games, will be played on the 2nd, on Monday the 2nd, for the same for the same reason. But you got to get to the main event here because I know we're short on time in a second. And I am told off the air by J-Mo that there is an issue now, Lightning Panthers. But you're wanting to gloat. Have you gloated already this morning about your Stanley Cup opening round picks?
8-0, yeah. 8-0. I'm not just bragging about the Lightning. I'm bragging on the fact that every series was picked correctly.
But you had to have some things fall right. I mean, the Lightning had to win a desperate overtime Game 6, and that's your Stanley Cup winner, correct? Ultimately, at the end of the rainbow, right?
No.
I thought you did.
No.
At the last minute, you pulled the plug and picked whom to win the whole thing?
I have Colorado beating Florida in the Stanley Cup Finals.
So wait. Now is where J-Mo can come on the mic.
It feels like 96.
I have both of you against me. What possible motive would you have to go against the two-time defending Stanley Cup champions, Wolo? More importantly, J-Mo, how are you a Florida Panthers fan?
Well,
you're in Memphis.
Well, things happen organically. Sometimes you catch the team's fever. A team plays this type of hockey that it really attracts you. And I just admit to being a Panthers fan. It feels like 96, TJ. Feels like 96.
But you have no connection to Miami, correct? No.
Not officially, except for my love of this hockey team.
Well, the other thing is the Lightning probably used up all of their luck in this thing with the Leafs.
Don't that goalie ain't lucky. J-Mo, you got issues. The big cat, Andrei Vasilevsky.
You know what?
That ain't luck.
When I picked Florida to beat Washington, I remember what you said. Wolo, the Panthers have never won a series in the playoffs.
In the 2000.
Here you
That's
go.
Correct.
Now they've won one.
That's correct.
And they're going to win some more.
I don't think so. Bus stops here.
Okay.
And just remember, a year ago, the Panthers, for whatever it's worth, a lot of the same players on both teams, the Panthers were riding high. We're gonna knock off the defending champs. The Lightning promptly won the first 2 games in Miami. The first 2.
They brought these 3 guys from off the street that hadn't played all season come into the series. It's different this year. It's different. This is the comeback. This is the revenge tour right here. Best offense in the sport. President's Trophy winners. Panthers win this series.
All right. Mark the tape.
We'll see.
Mark the tape on this.
It's marked. Okay. PGA this week, Tulsa.
Wow.
What does Tiger do?
Well, the first thing is Tiger plays the back 9 this morning. He played the front 9 yesterday. He's out on the back 9 right now. I saw some social media photos that he's out there practicing. Played 9 holes yesterday, playing 9 holes today. It's tough to go against his ability. This is an amazing is maybe not even a strong enough word, physical recovery to be back, but this is also not Augusta. This is not a place where he's ultra familiar, including with the greens. Dare I say on Wolo and Friends he might not make the cut? Dare I say that?
He's won a major there. He knows Southern Hills. He's won a major. It's
correct.
I've played Southern Hills. It is not as tough a walk as Augusta, but it's not as easy a walk as St. Andrews is going to be later this summer. That's for sure.
Is it blasphemy to suggest that he might miss the cut?
No, it's not. He was very fortunate to make the cut at Augusta, and not because of lack of ability, because it's still there, but cold and fatigue got him there. I mean, he never has played well. I think Earl Woods once said the only thing that can stop Tiger is cold temperatures. And it was cold at Augusta, and then, those walks at the end got him. He was, on Sunday, a very old-looking kind of a guy. He was fatigued.
The tough walk. I'm just laughing because at that statement, there should have been other people laugh, too. There's something else very prominent that stopped Tiger Woods, as it turns out, and we'll leave it to the imagination of everybody as to what that is. So I don't know. I don't know what to expect this weekend, and you've got the wild controversy that Phil, of course, won the PGA Championship, and now he's not even there. And
what do you think's happening? What do you think's happening with him?
What's that?
What do you think's happening with Phil?
I think there's a shame thing that's going on. I think the sponsors have fled from him. I think he was seriously contemplating on this Saudi tour. But how does that relate to, are you ever going to be allowed to play on the Champions Tour ever again if you go do this? And here's another factor, speaking of the broadcasting, bring it back. How much is Phil Mickelson worth if he wants to go to the booth and be a broadcaster in a few years? But if you have soured your relationship with the PGA Tour, you may not be allowed to do that. You may be forbidden from doing that.
That's very true, because I think they have the right of refusal on who the networks hire as their analysts, or announcers.
Yep.
So therefore, he did not get a release from the LIV, the Greg Norman
correct.
Saudi
Tour. Correct.
Yeah. So he's really got to weigh what he's going to do. I'm a little surprised. Honestly, I get Augusta. It was very quick. The Shane thing that you were talking about. I don't quite understand why he didn't defend the PGA unless it's the PGA that's saying, Phil, you need to be away for a while after your comments. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. I don't know either. But will he resurface for the U.S. Open? Will he resurface? Again, he's got a lifetime situation with the Open Championship at St. Andrews.
Yeah.
Is he going to play there? Great unknown.
Well,
and we'll see what happens this week.
PGA controlled either.
That's correct.
So
well,
the
European Tour and the R&A are kind of in bed, in cahoots with the PGA Tour.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't know where he resurfaces. He will end up, I'm sure, doing a mea culpa, maybe on Oprah Winfrey's couch. I don't know. And we'll kind of, it always seems to be the go-to. We'll see where he surfaces again. I'm interested to see that golf major, too, in addition to all the playoffs and all the excitement and everything that happened last night. So do we have a wager on this? I mean, you're just being a hater picking against the Lightning. And Jay Morgan Harder, who has no connection to Miami, never lived in Miami, not from there, has bandwagon them. Are we having a wager on this, Panthers Lightning?
We can. You want to go Mel's again?
I might go Rendezvous.
Okay.
I might have to have some Rendezvous for you guys if the Lightning do what I believe they're going to do.
Okay,
here.
That's fine with me. I am all for that.
Rendezvous versus what? Some Tampa. You want some? I don't know if I can get Mel's shipped to you, but we got to get some Tampa something, some Cuban sandwiches, something shipped to you. If that's the case, so there's got to be some kind of wager. We'll work it out behind us.
I don't think we can do the Columbia salad. I love that salad at the Columbia.
I don't know. Richard Gonsmart.
I got to have a mojito with that too.
Oh my Lord! All right, Richard Gonsmart is very creative and has got a lot of delivery and stuff. The guy that runs the Columbia restaurant over 100 years worth in Ybor City, so that we might be able to get something to you.
Okay.
We'll see.
All right. Thank you, my friend. We appreciate it.
Always good to be with you. Lots going on, including the playoffs and the golf. So let's just see what all happens.
It is
be well, my friend.
Never dull in the sports world in this day and age. That is for sure. TJ, brought to you by Miramichi. He loves coming to Miramichi. I know he loves that golf course. We should have put up some golf is what we should have done. Miramichi versus, he lives on a TPC course, I think, in Tampa. Miramichi's every bit as good as that one. Sits on 330 acres of beauty. I'm telling you, 7,400 yards of championship golf at Miramichi, surrounded just by natural beauty. It's like walking in the woods in the back nine with a meandering stream. You're going to love it. You'll love the competitiveness of the golf course. You'll love the fact that you can move up. I like to play it at about 6,300 yards. It's just outstanding. Then afterwards, they have that Miramichi Terrace, a 10,000 square foot outpost that overlooks the lush golf course. I'm telling you, there's ponds, there's a fountain, there's blue sky. It's just the best view in all of Shelby County. And if you're a senior, you go to play it tomorrow, it's $33. Same thing for Wednesday and Thursday. That includes golf cart and complimentary range balls. You can't beat it. You can't beat the deal. The best practice facilities there are for any public golf course anywhere near. Golf Week says if you're playing golf in Tennessee, you got to include Miramichi, and it's in our backyard, 10 minutes north of downtown in Woodstock, Miramichi. We pause for a second. We talk more golf. Ted Butler joins us in just a second on Wolo and Friends.
Let former Memphis Tiger Gabe Kuhn and Brett Norsworthy take you home every afternoon with Sports Time on Sports 56. Weekdays from 3 to 6 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Hi, folks. Bob Burkham for Sunrise Buick GMC Truck. Lots of vehicles to choose from at Sunrise. Trucks, SUVs, certified late model used cars, and cars under $10,000. At Sunrise, we specialize in low monthly payments and secondary financing. Come on in, call, or go online to sunrisememphis.com. Schedule an appointment, select your vehicle, appraise your trade-in, arrange financing and delivery. We'll deliver right to your doorstep. All cars inspected and ready to go. Need service or body work? Bring it to Sunrise or go online to schedule an appointment. Sunrise, Covington Pike, Wolf Chase, and Collierville.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roof Services. If you need a new roof for your home or business, we hope to hear from you and will work hard to earn your business. We are experts and certified in residential and commercial roofing, siding, and gutter installation. I have been serving the Memphis area for over 20 years, and now with 2 of my sons working with me, we plan to be here for years to come. So if you need a roof, please give us a call. On a personal note, what a great time it is to be a Memphis sports fan. With the Grizzlies and the Redbirds and 901 FC, not to mention Tigers football and basketball, it's going to be a fun year. Thanks to Coach Silverfield and Coach Hardaway and their staffs for their dedication to the student and athletes, the University of Memphis, the City of Memphis, and us fans. Five Ash Roof Services, a proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. Five Ash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Five Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
You can't get much for $5 these days, unless you go to Wendy's for a $5 Biggie Bag. Get your choice of double stack, junior bacon cheeseburger, or crispy chicken BLT, plus 4-piece nugs, fries, and a drink, all for just $5.
You got that bag, you got that Biggie Bag, you got that bag.
That was smooth, wasn't it? That's how you're gonna feel when you get that Biggie Bag at Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. Includes 4-piece nuggets, small soft drink, and small fry. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
Say there was a place, the perfect place for everything you need for tailgates and patios, grills and chairs, charcoal and coolers, everything to make a great game or a great day. That perfect place wouldn't be a warehouse. It's East Memphis Ace Hardware. Locally owned and operated at Quince and White Station, East Memphis Ace Hardware is where you'll find Benjamin Moore paints, local plants from local growers, and Black & Decker tools. Around the block, what you need in stock with people who know their tailgates. Welcome to East Memphis Ace Hardware, the home convenience store.
Now back to Wolo and Friends on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM, presented by Homer Skelton Hyundai. Here once again is the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin.
We'll talk some golf with our friend Ted Butler. He'll come your way via the good folks at the Spirit Shop. Weekend's over. You know that. Now it's time to stock up. And you can do that at Poplar in St. Nick. That's 4848 Poplar. And right down from Clark Tower. I mean, you've passed it by a million times, that little log cabin. You've seen it. You go, hey, you think there's a lot of stuff in there? There's an incredible amount. Eddie Conner and his family, they know all about spatial engineering. You'll find bargains and you'll find rare bourbons. You'll find great wines. You'll find up-and-comers. And Eddie can absolutely educate you on everything. You'll find all the local beers. You'll find things like Old Dominic's, the local spirits that are distilled in Memphis. Again, you can get an education on all of that. If you're even looking for a rub for the rim of your glass for a specialty drink, bitters, things of that kind, everything you could possibly want right there at Poplar in St. Nick. It's the Spirit Shop. Go in and tell them we sent you. So Ted Butler joins us every Monday. We got lots to talk about today. Ted, I want to start with K.H. Lee, who shot 26 under to win the Byron Nelson yesterday. A little bit of history here, too, because the only 2 guys who've ever had repeats at the Byron Nelson were Tom Watson and Jack Nicklaus. That's pretty good. I don't know if K.H. Lee's going to be in their category, but he shot 25 under last year to win it. That's 51 under. Is that good? Do you like that when guys are getting those kinds of low scores?
Well, not particularly, but it was entertaining yesterday. You know, there were 10, 12 guys who were all within a shot or two, and it is a little disconcerting when 3 guys in the top 5 finishers shoot a 61, a 62, and a 63.
Yeah,
I mean that's going ridiculously low, but the conditions were perfect. The greens were good, and when you give those guys conditions like that, they shoot low scores. I mean, it's just getting better and better every year.
Well, all I know is this. When John Cook shot 26 under at Southwind, they redid Southwind.
Right.
I don't know, because this is a relatively new venue for Byron Nelson. It used to be at TPC Las Colinas by the Four Seasons, which I think was, and I covered it there. I thought it was a better golf course than this one. I don't look. I'm not saying it should be like the U.S. Open all the time, which I love, where even par or even over par can win. But I don't think it should ever be more than 12, 13, 14 under. 26 under? I mean, that's crazy. So are you more? Go ahead.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, that's it. Just I'm amazed that they can do it. They're in such better physical shape, and the course. If you give them good fairways and good greens and good weather, it happens every time. They shoot mid-20s, 22, 3, 4 under par. They're just that good now.
Well, and Spieth was really good in this tournament too. He didn't. He didn't lose the tournament. This was won by Lee, who, man, what a great shot he hit on 18 to birdie that hole, and then really put the pressure on Spieth.
And the putt Spieth missed on 17.
Yeah.
That's a putt. It was a tap in for him years ago. In his heyday, he would have never missed that putt. Yeah. It was the putt they love. Inch outside the right for a right-hander, and he started it left and left it short. That was. All
right.
But next week is coming.
Yeah. All right. We'll get to that in a second. Which is more impressive, that K.H. Lee 26 under or Steve Stricker winning the senior event at Greystone in Birmingham, which if you have never played that golf course, it is gorgeous. I love that place. Stricker, 3 weeks, came back from the tournament, back to the senior tour after a 6-month absence. He was in the hospital for some bug, they're not sure. He lost 25 pounds. They didn't know if he'd ever get healthy again. And then I don't think he's been over par in the 3 tournaments he's played, and in any round, and wins this one going away, and wins. I think it's the 8th senior tour event he's already won.
That's amazing. I mean, I think it's a bit more impressive just for the fact that he was able to play golf again. Even came out of the hospital to begin with. Nobody seems to know what was wrong with him.
Right.
So he was real, like you said, lost 25 pounds. He was really, really sick and came back and maybe laying there thinking about it, got him more determined. And now he's really getting after it. But that's really impressive, though.
Well, the thing that would scare me, and I really like Steve Stricker. I think he's just a good guy. The thing that would scare me is if we don't know what happened, will it happen again?
Right. Could it come back next week again, right?
I know.
It boggles my mind that they can't figure out what happened. I mean, with all the medical stuff we've got now and the doctors, and it seems almost impossible they could not know what it is.
I know it. All right, let's get to Southern Hills. That is a golf course that Tiger Woods won a major on. He knows the course. He's playing the back 9 today. He played the front 9 yesterday. Does Tiger Woods make the cut at Southern Hills in the PGA?
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. He likes the golf course. It's going to be warm weather. Every time I see it, he's swinging great. Everybody that sees him says he's swinging great. If he's got the stamina to play 72 holes, he made it through Augusta in terrible weather conditions. I think he's going to be a factor. I don't see any reason not. It's his kind of golf course.
Jordan Spieth is playing the best golf he's played in 2 or 3 years. He needs this for the career Grand Slam. Oddly enough, no one has ever completed the PGA to win the career Grand Slam. So if Spieth does it, obviously since he's won the other 3, Palmer never was able to win the PGA, he won the other 3. Is Spieth the guy that can win at Southern Hills?
I think so. The way he's playing now, there's probably a dozen guys right now that are playing well enough to win there. But and Spieth's on a mission now. He's playing better. He still hits crazy shots. That par 3 hit it over into the tree, and I mean, just an awful golf shot, but made a 15-footer for par. So he's got his recovery game in shape, and he's playing really good golf.
His swing looks a little funky to me, though. He does that practice swing, and it looks like he's coming. He looks like me. He's about to come over the top.
He's trying not to go too inside. He doesn't swing like his practice swing. Right. There's guys that have done that before. Corey Pavin, Ricky. There's these guys that have made practice swings going up the top and coming over the top just so they don't drop it too far inside on the way down. And he's pretty much on plane right now. He's got a little more bowed left wrist at the top of the swing than he used to have, but the swing is on plane all the way. It's not like his practice swing. That's just a reminder not to go inside.
This is only like the third or fourth time that a guy is not defending his major championship. Phil Mickelson. What's your take on his story?
I don't know. Everybody that walks in this door says the same thing. What in the world, in not that kindly language, but is wrong with Phil Mickelson? I mean, everybody that comes in here has got something bad to say about it, and I don't know. I don't know why he withdrew. I guess he hadn't been playing, but defending champion doesn't show up.
Oh.
I'm not sure what's going on with him. He may be in bigger trouble than everybody thinks.
Maybe so. Or maybe the tour is barring him and they're not saying. Who knows? If you want to be a conspiracy theorist, there's plenty out there for sure. All right, final thing. Tell me who you think will win the PGA. And Scotty Scheffler's the only guy that can win the Grand Slam this year because he won the Masters.
My pick would have to be Schauffele.
Xander?
Yep.
Wow.
He's been playing great ever since he played with Patrick Cantlay.
He has.
And what, he shoots 61 or 60 the other day?
I think it was 61.
Playing great.
I think it was 61, and he made the comment to Amanda on CBS after the round and said, I really feel good right now because Southern Hills has the same sort of climate and grass.
Yes. He would be my pick.
Okay. He's your
One
guy.
other thing.
Yeah.
Did you hear that Rachel Heck is getting NIL money from Nike?
No.
The first athlete to get money from Nike, NIL money.
No, female athlete,
Yeah.
because Nike was giving money to Imani Bates. We know that for a fact. First female golfer or athlete?
Yes. Well, they said.
Wow. Did they say how much?
No, they didn't ask.
Wow. Big
Who
bucks.
knows?
I bet it's big bucks. That's great.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. Rachel Heck got NIL money from Nike. Fantastic.
Yep.
Ted, we'll be watching now. Your pick,
All right.
Xander Schauffele. I love it.
I wanted to pick Oosthuizen, but he keeps letting me down.
Yeah, I know. Forget Oosthuizen. He killed you last year, too. Forget him. Thank you, Ted. We appreciate it.
So, yeah.
That's our man at Summer Golf and Games. That is Ted Butler. That'll do it for us. Johnny Radio is coming your way right around the corner.
First golfer overall, not just female.
First golfer?
Period.
Does it say how much?
It doesn't say how much, but first golfer, period.
Got to be big money, right?
It has to.
I hope so. I'd love it for her. You don't get better than her. She wants to be a she's in what is the ROTC? She's in the ROTC. She's like loves the SEAL fitness like Tiger. Crazy stuff. I love her. She's fantastic. All right, that'll do it for us. Johnny Radio's right around the corner. We'll do this again tomorrow morning. Have a great day, everyone.